Good morning. It's a Sunday, but I just woke up and I'm reading 1984, so I thought I'd do a little update because I haven't been able to put this down. So I'm on page 147, and that's almost halfway through, which is kind of crazy because yesterday I read a lot. I was actually on a road trip. I went to graduation. I was out the entire day, but somehow I managed to read. But it's getting really good. So I'm in the second part. There's 3 parts in this book. The first one was just kind of setting the scene. You're getting to understand Winston Smith, our protagonist, his job. His job is essentially rewriting history, but he lives in a world where there's total censorship, almost total censorship. It's becoming this state where you're not able to fully think for yourself, and if you do, then you can be caught by the thought police is what they're called, and then essentially like executed or vaporized. All right, now it's more focused on this one relationship, which I think is quite interesting. I honestly didn't expect it at all, because last time when I tried to read this, I think I DNF'd it around page like 50 or 60, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be quite honest. I didn't expect this turn or shift to happen, but I'm going with it. I'm still very interested and curious, but we'll have to see. So I'm just going to continue reading. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see. So yesterday I got my new desk in the mail and I wanted to show you. I don't have any organization or anything yet, but I've been spending the past few months thinking about which desk I want and saving up, and this one is perfect. I really like how large it is because my previous desk was probably not much wider than my monitor. I do have a very wide monitor though because I'm a designer, so I kind of need that, but I feel like this desk just suits everything better, and I have more space over here and storage, which I'm very excited about. I did have some issues with the delivery though, because they told me on Friday night that it was scheduled for Saturday, but I was gonna be out of town, so I called them that night and saying, hey, I can't be there, can I reschedule it? They're like, yeah, we'll cancel the delivery for tomorrow, reschedule. And then the next day, I was eating lunch with my family, and someone texted me, hey, I'm 20 minutes away from your house with the delivery. And I said, oh, no, I think there's a misunderstanding because I canceled it yesterday and it's supposed to be rescheduled. He was like, nope, I'm going to deliver it. And then I said, oh, is there any way that I can reschedule it? And I was kind of like pleading with him. But he was like, no, I can't come back. So by the end of the conversation, I was kind of curt, and I was just like, please, no one's going to be there. I didn't want it to just be sitting out. But thankfully, the weather was okay and everything worked out. I did also apologize to him at the end for being kind of blunt because it probably wasn't his fault, but no harm. Everything is totally fine. I think now I'm going to do some editing. I also have some apples and peanut butter as a snack because I've been fixated on that. And then 1984, I have a little over 100 pages now. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish it because I do have some other errands and cleaning things I want to do today, but we'll see. I got coffee. Oh, I can't open the door. I usually try to make my caffeine at home, and I like to have matcha, but I decided to get a large coffee today. I'm going to share this though because this is not good for me to drink the whole thing. I'm so excited. I look forward to a fun drink every day. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, now I have to go. I have a meeting at 9 a.m. I finally have 4.5 millimeter needles in the 16 inch, so I'm able to pick up my stitches, and I think that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening because I think I need a bit of a mental break. I finished 1984 after work today, and that was very depressing. It just left me in despair, and I am someone who gravitates towards dark literature. I've read a lot of books that have a lot of sad, depressing stories, but that was something else. So I think I'm gonna just take it easy tonight and start on my sleeves. I was actually thinking about listening to True Crime or Crime Junkie, but I feel like that's probably a bad idea too. I finally picked up my sleeves and now I'm working my way down. I feel a little stiff and awkward going back into it, but once I get into the rhythm, it's actually quite fun. I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed knitting. I think earlier this year I was really into it. Like I would wake up thinking about my project and I would go to sleep looking at new projects that I wanted to start. But then I went traveling and I feel like recently I've been more into knitting, which is totally fine, but I kind of want to pick this up again. I am thinking about what book I want to read next, though, because I finished 1984 and I really enjoyed it, but I don't think I want to read another dystopian novel or anything similar to it. I'm thinking maybe Dostoevsky, because he's one of my favorite authors and I haven't read anything by him since I think last year now, because I've been reading a lot of Steinbeck and other authors just in between. I was thinking about The Gambler. I think that could be a good option because it's actually quite short. Or The Idiot. That one's very long and dense. I honestly don't know if I'm ready for another project book. I am very torn also about DNFing The Count of Monte Cristo because it is just such a pain to get through right now. And I'm just listening to the audiobook. The audiobook is good. I have no problems with it, but the story itself, it feels so drawn out and I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I'm not very convinced that this is going to be the best story I've ever read, but people keep saying that, so I'm not sure what to make of it. Do I keep going? And for the longest time, I was being quite stubborn about it because I wanted to be able to say I read The Count of Monte Cristo, which is probably one of the longest books out of the classics, at least that I wanted to read. So I don't know what to do. If you've read it, please tell me. I might just have to DNF it. So I recently finished 1984 and I wanted to briefly share my thoughts and also some fun facts that I learned while doing a bit of research. But overall, I love this book. I understand why it's a classic and so many people recommend it. Honestly, I think it should also be a required reading in schools. Unfortunately, I think it's been banned in a lot of different states and districts, which is quite interesting and ironic considering what this book is about and being against censorship, but I guess I digress. George Orwell has definitely been one of my favorite authors recently, and I would describe his writing as critical, lucid, and also very direct. George Orwell is transparently himself, and it comes across in his writing, especially his political beliefs come through 100% in 1984, and really that's what this book is about. And I think it's interesting because I did read Animal Farm by him, and that one does have very similar themes to this. But I think the way that it's written, because it's told through farm animals and this fable-like manner, it seems almost not as serious and more approachable. This one, he's very heavy-handed, and I would consider that before you read it. I still recommend, like strongly recommend everyone to read it, but if you're not in a great mental space, I could see this being quite anxiety-inducing. But anyways, I did learn that he was writing this while he was quite sick. He had tuberculosis, and he was writing it in 1948, published it in 1949, and then died the year after. So I think I saw somewhere, I don't know if this is true, but the title 1984 is like 1948 when he was writing it, but flipped. But I think he did also have another working title that he was considering. But this story is following Winston Smith. He lives in this dystopian world where there's essentially 100% surveillance. You're not able to think freely for yourself. There's actually a quote from 1984 that goes, who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past. So this government, what they do is they have news articles that they send out, expecting this percent of production of chocolate, for example, by this date. And if they don't meet those goals, then Winston Smith will go ahead and rewrite those articles to make it seem like they actually did meet their expectations. So that's the world that Winston lives in. And it is quite a cautionary tale of what could happen when we are stripped of our freedom and our creativity. And there's even this new language that they're building called Newspeak, and it is just such a concise and stripped down version of our own language, and that is another way that they're trying to control the people. That is a little bit about it. I won't talk too much, but overall I think that this book is such a relevant story today, even though it was written so long ago. I also wanted to mention a reading that you could pair with 1984 if you're reading it now or if you have already read it. This is Books versus Cigarettes. I got this in Japan actually, and I talked about it before, but I really think that you should read The Prevention of Literature. Actually, it might be even good to read before. There's not really spoilers per se because it's not directly related to 1984, but it has a lot of the things that John Steinbeck, oh my gosh, George Orwell. It's because John Steinbeck is right here. That George Orwell talks about in that essay. And also, a lot of these essays are centered around literature and reading and censorship. So I think that it would be a good pairing. I don't know if I've actually. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I haven't seen this in any of the bookstores around me, so it might be hard to get. I have to order online, but I really like this cover. For breakfast, I made a chia seed pudding bowl with granola and strawberries, and I also added Greek yogurt because I've been trying to eat more protein, and it tastes pretty good because sometimes I do like Greek yogurt and I usually have that for breakfast, but sometimes it just gets so like dry and the texture is just a little, I don't know, unappetizing after a while.
them. I love with the best. The students just the option.